Now in our studio, we've been joined by Alhaji Kemoh Sesay, Sierra Leone's former Minister of Transport and Aviation and Works under the Ernest Bai Koroma-led administration. Sesay has declared his intention to run for the flag-bearer post of the opposition All People's Congress Party, and is here to talk about his ambition and why he is in the race. Good morning and welcome to the show, Alhaji.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, so first off, let's get a clear understanding of why you are in the race for the flag-bearer post of the APC.
In the first place, should be how you are in the race instead of why. How is because of a conclusive, informed decision within me. First of all, I convinced myself to say, I am able, capable, and willing to be the president of Sierra Leone. That's why I come to the why now. Now, to your answer now is this. I have investigated myself, my party, the country, and I realized that I am the most fitted person to govern this country at times like this. That's why I've come, in a nutshell, to show up my interest in the flag bearers for this party, knowing fully well that no other party will come to power through the ballot box, but the APC party come 2023.
So first off, let's look at the APC. I know from an interview or from the news we covered during your declaration, you gave some of the reasons why you were in the race. First, let's look at home. Charity, they say, begins at home. The APC is not stable. It appears it's a turbulent season for the APC. So how would you use your leadership skills to settle the waters in the APC? There's this deep-rooted feud in the APC already. Too many divisions, putting the party on the edge of saying, oh, we're not ready for 2023. Well, how would you use your skills in settling that?
In the first place, let me correct you.
Go ahead.
There is no instability in the APC. There is competition in the APC. People are competing for obvious reasons. We all know that the contest in the APC is about being a flag bearer for the APC party. And it's not wrong for anybody to be interested. Everybody who thinks he's potential, is capable, wants to contest. It's about competition. That's political competition. That's what you hear. Divisions, groups, cabals, supporters, differently. And we in the APC party are democratic. You have a right to support who you want to support. Belong to where you want to belong. No problem. We accept the thing. So there is no palaver in the APC. Tell me for once, how many flag bearer aspirants have you had causing themselves or fighting? No. Again, it's all about the supporters. Some people are very emotional. Some supporters are very, very personal. Some are passionate. They will do things not consistent with the philosophy or values of the people they support. So it's not a party confusion. It's supporters who believe in them. They think, okay, now today, people must give place to Samuel. Because of that, they argue and make palaver in social media. They go to social media. They are very, very savvy in social media. So that's why you think they are fighting the APC party. No. You wait and see when APC say, we have a meeting today. You will see that we're all cohesive, we're all organized together. There's no palaver.
If you're saying the APC is stable, you have the chairman of the Interim Transitional Governing Committee who is making a statement contrary to what the secretary of that very committee would be saying. Is that stability? We've seen a war of calumny between the two.
That underscores my position. The chairman of the Interim Transition Governance Committee is a person, is an individual. He has, like you do, also you do, he has own interests. They might be divergent to the secretary's interest. So for them to argue, it's not peculiar, it's common. If people are in the same room, they have different interests, expressing their personal interest might bring collusion. So for us politicians, it's normal. So to say, what did you say? The word you use is an overstatement. You say collusion. There's no collusion. It's expression of interest verbally or by social media. That doesn't mean they are fighting. I can assure you, if you go to the party office today, you will meet Alfred Pisa-Conte and Abdul still in the same table discussing about the APC party. But again, that doesn't preclude the fact that they have different interests. That's all what it is.
Why should the APC trust Alhaji Kemoh Sesay at this point with the flag bearer ticket?
Because they know my values. And I tell you what, believe in me, plenty of people don't know Kemoh. Like in Creole, it's something but you don't know. When you know Kemoh, you know it's the person for Sierra Leone right now. And trust me, in a very short time, Every APCian who is really blue-blooded APC will know Kemoh, and they will believe that this is the man.
You know, you're asking the APC to trust you as a strong contender against the sitting president come 2023. What do you bring to the table?
Thank you. I bring in qualification, experience, and good record to go by. Guess what? Again, I'm using the word guess what because I know you don't know. In the APC party, there are groomed, experienced, qualified persons within the party. Plenty. It's a reservoir. One of them is Alhaji Kemoh Sesay, who has gone through Parliament, Salon Parliament, 11 years. He has gone, that is from 1996 to 2007. He has gone through African Parliament, 7 years. That's 2007. And he has been a government minister for 10 years with Anesbe Kuruma. So that's political experience. Besides that, I am, it goes without saying, a grassroots politician. You know my dress today? Can you understand what it is?
Tell me.
Thank you. This is grassroots. Brown. Brown is grassroots for Sierra Leone. You didn't see me with red. You don't see me with green. You don't see me with blue. It's grassroots. Because that's the people I'm representing.
You know, before going to contest against the leader and already flag bearer of the SLPP, you just mentioned that there are many in the APC running for the same post. You have the likes of Samura Mafi Wilson Kamara, who had the ticket in 2018. You have Sam Sumana, who is again, doggedly fighting to get the ticket. You have Dr. Richard Conte, the Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara, the Kelfala Mara. All of these guys you've mentioned, they've been groomed, well experienced, qualified to take the leadership. So why do you think you have an edge over the others in the party for the ticket?
You know, in the rainy season, people say umbrellas, right? But not all umbrellas stand the weathers of turbulent rains, correct? There are times in the rainy season, you must have a very strong wooden umbrella, otherwise they take it away from you. Times like this, they need the likes of Kemoh Sesay. It's not enough to be academically qualified or being a minister. It's more than that. First of all, your values, your person, your innate character counts now. Besides being in Parliament, besides being a minister, besides being educated, you have to have the character that suits the condition of the country now, which are, you have to have a faith in Almighty Allah and believe in cohesiveness and uniting this country. That's what we need right now. If we don't have that one, we miss it, this country is doomed.
So it goes back. Are there specific qualities that the others do not possess that you possess?
I'm not going to judge anybody, but I'm thinking about me. I have qualities in me that I know of, that I know they are in me, innate characters. First one is, I believe in Allah. Second one, I believe that there is no one born better than anybody else. The way I'm born is the way Samuel is born, is the way Fiban is born, but Almighty Allah says today, you have to interview me. Almighty Allah says today, Kemoh was a minister of government. You want to be a minister, you want to have money, you want to have everything, but it's by the grace of Allah. Therefore, I believe that I'm not special. I'm not somebody like different from anybody else. Just as Almighty Allah says, you know what? I'll make you this. And there's a reason. I have to justify it. Now I have to justify the confidence of Almighty Allah. That's why I believe that I have characters that I believe in. I'm not coming for presidency because I want to have money. Wallahi, I don't have plenty, but I have enough to survive till I die. I'm not coming there because I want a house. I have houses. I can live in any house till I die. I'm not coming because I want a car. I do have a car. I'm coming because I want to make a difference in mankind to satisfy Almighty Allah, which plenty don't have. Plenty are coming because they want to make money, they want to make this, blah, blah. No. I'm only coming because I want to make sure I pay back to Almighty Allah. I wish they would say, give God house. I say, take my house is all, I go to heaven. That's what I want. Jannah will feed house. But no, God doesn't even talk to me. So now, if I church those that Allah does not church, then I'll say, hey, God, thank you, in our language. Praise God.
Are you not worried? The office you're vying for, the presidency, former President Ernest Koroma promised a whole lot in 2007. Those who were campaigning criticized former President Kaba's government with the increment of prices. Now fast forward to where we are. There's President Bio in office. Inflation is still a problem. there are global issues affecting us. Are you not worried that this is a terrible time to be president of Sierra Leone?
Well, the word worried is an understatement. I'm not worried. I believe in me. Terrible times need terrible solutions. These are terrible times, like you say. First of all, these are all doable things. They are not unfixable. For example, you talk about difficult times, cost, inflation, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not an economist. But believe you me, if you are sincere and genuine with the programs that you put together, not over-ambitious ones, you will put this country to peace. And there will be nothing like that. Like I said in Putloko in our declaration, I told them, you know what? To let people begin to fight because they are idle and because they have their daily bread. If they are busy fending their daily bread, they have opportunity to fend them. You don't have time for politicians. And it's easily done. And believe me, somebody told me in Putloko, you talk too much of your programs, they will steal them. No, no, bro, let them steal. It's for the country, not for me. My programs, they came in me through Almighty Allah for the country. So I don't care who knows or does not know them. As long as you implement them for the country, I'm fine. Let me give you one example. The biggest problem in the country now is the division of this country. There is so much polarization. That's my first flagship project. This country is going to be cohesive. We're going to be one people. We're going to be the same country. We're going to love one another in the sense that I will feel the pain of Fabian in difficult times.
How would you accomplish that when almost all the presidents we've had the same intention? All the time people talk about unity, bringing the country together, yet it's harder to get that done.
Okay. First off, let me tell you what I have done about unity. Not what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I've done for unity. Now, when I was Minister of Political and Public Affairs, there was a very serious issue in Sierra Leone regarding the football between Mohamed Kalon and Johan Sit. Go and ask them, their witnesses. I was the very one that told them, you don't have a choice, you must work together. And a peace came in. The music industry had a difficulty working together between this boy, Innocent, and the other group, the Easterners and the Westerners. I brought them together. As we speak, in opposition, I've met the former IG, Sovula, on a meeting for that, at 38. I've met the current IG, when he was crime officer, AIG crime. Talk to you know what? Gentlemen, you are the AIG crime. You have an obligation to make the country be at peace, to make your job easy. Let us talk about this. Go and ask him today. We spoke, I told him what to do. He told me he's working on that. He went to ONS. I spoke to the former IG then, when he was IG. The same thing. I didn't even anticipate he was going to be IG now. I told him, you know what, Mr. Sovula, you have an obligation to enjoy your job. If there is problem because you can't enjoy being IG, let's do something. I spoke to him again. Of course, that was where he sank. But with current IG, I spoke to him when it was AIG crime. As is, we talked about it again. And he's trying to do something that I believe if he does that, it will help this country. So for me, that's what I've done. Now let me see what I'll do.
I would love to take you on some specific issues in terms of governance in Sierra Leone. But just before I do that, I want to take you back quickly to the APC. You've explained what you've enjoyed as a politician, being a member of parliament in Sierra Leone, enjoyed the Pan-African Parliament, being a minister. First, for the party to trust Alhaji Ibrahim Kemoh Sesay with its leadership, what have you done for the APC?
Okay. You know what? I've realized that you're not interested in the unity of the country because I was talking about that, delving into that. You bring back something different.
Yes.
Fine. You go to APC party, the records are there. In the APC party, if there is any, I'm here to be challenged in terms of uniting the APC within Putloko and outside Putloko. I'm a person that believes that, like I told you, ab initio, I told you that. I believe that everybody deserves to be happy. I won't judge anybody, and I believe also that I am not born better than anybody else. So I'm lucky, I'm exploiting that opportunity to make people believe that they can be Kemoh or more than Kemoh. They can live a good life. Go and ask the APC Youth League, the APC Women's Congress, the APC, every organ of the party. I'm involved, and I have offered. But again, I don't find pleasure telling what I've done here. Why? Because I did not do it because I want someone to reward me. I did it for Allah to reward me. And I'm sure in Almighty Allah's issue, there's no kalkanut. If you do something to help mankind, leave Allah to pay for you. That is why I equally don't believe in revenge, I don't believe in retribution, I don't believe in reprisal. Allah will fight for me. So, if you research, I don't find pleasure talking about, I've done this, I've built this, I've provided this. No. I find pleasure in doing things for Almighty Allah to reward me. So, I'm not going to answer that question, tell you, I've bought this car, I've bought this bus, I've made this office, I will not do that. It's for Allah to judge.
So let's get to talk about national issues.
Thank you.
Specifically now, what are some of the issues that you think are not running well in Sierra Leone?
One of them is the unity of the country as my flagship project, number one. I told you a few minutes ago. My first program in this country to make sure that Sierra Leone is united. Everybody, you don't have to trust anybody, but you can work with everybody. You have to know that as long as you are a Sierra Leonean, I'm your brother, I'm your sister. It's of no consequence talking about palaver or fight. We have strong ties here. Just reactivate them. Our culture, our traditions in Sierra Leone, intermarriages, interreligious tolerance. We play together. I've been to the church plenty of times. Sometimes I went to church, I remember, I didn't know you don't have to put up a hat in the church. I was in a hat. And President Nkrumah then was scratching me. I don't know what he meant. And then somebody came and said, pull your cap. I said, oh, okay. But I was in the church. That's how beautiful this country is in terms of religion. Also, my first son was born by a Mende Shabro woman, my eldest son, the most powerful of my children. Very, very candor, that boy. Very, very soft-spoken, very, very honest, very, very hardworking. He's in America now, 39 years of old. Was born for me by a Mende woman. So, how enjoying is that kind of privilege? You will enjoy that one. We'll go back to those things. There will be no rancor. But you know what? Like I did my flagship projects, most politicians have played divisive politics are the lazy ones. They don't have ideas. They don't have the acumen to contribute for. Because if you are a serious politician, the country has to be stable so that you do your programs.
You know, as you embark on this national cohesion and unity as your flagship, I'm pretty sure you're not oblivious of the accusation that you are one of the decisive, divisive politicians. Recently, you were accused of fanning the flames. You would love to respond to that.
Which flames did I fan? Which flames did I fan? Tell me, I didn't remember that part.
There was this allegation of fanning the tribal card.
Oh, me?
Yes.
It must be a misplacement of people. In Putloko, fanning flames of discord. In Putloko, tribal. That person must just be, is a misnomer in society. In Putloko, I can name names here.
Go ahead.
Go and ask I don't know which position in SLBP. He's my friend. Fudi Kasid is my friend. Go and ask the guy that was a principal of Abaco. What for you? He's my friend. We'll talk. Guess what? These guys are so close to me that they visit me in Putloko. We'll talk politics. We'll provoke ourselves. That's why I want to inculcate in people in Sierra Leone. So fanning flame, people are lying. I know what you're talking about. That was a long time ago when the Vice President said I was making people burn houses. That's absurd. It's unfortunate that it came from the Vice President's mouth. Because I didn't even know about what he talked about. And later he found out that there was nothing like that. Nothing like that. But these are political gimmicks, negative propagandas. How can Alhaji Kemoh Sesay allow somebody to burn somebody's house when I know the worth of building a house? It's impossible. You know, in 2007, let me remind you.
Go ahead. When
President Nkrumah won elections, people in Buloka were dancing in the streets. In Timini, they say, Samdiran. That means we are coming to beat you up. Luckily for me, it was prayer day. I went to pray in the praying field. I asked me to say something. I said, okay. The only thing I said to them was that, Samdiran, that's come to me now. You want beat person, can't beat me now, get power now. If you beat anybody with the opposition and you don't beat, we get problem. They begin to east at me. Slash me. I said, no. You can't do that. Now, show them that you can govern properly. Because during the elections, some of them suffered. And some of them were angry because I stopped them. I told them, the leaders, anybody who attempts not to do it, to go and disturb any SLP person, find yourself in prison. And they were like, it's in that bond, so they like it. Puloka was scam. So it's a fake information. Dishonest statement to say, Kemoh is fighting flames of discord in Putloko. Check out Putloko. Check out the SLPP. Check out the APC. Check out any political party in Putloko. They will tell you that he's one person that believes in cohesion.
What are your plans or solutions to the current economic crisis the nation is fraught with?
Now, I am not an economist, but I can say what I know as a layman who has served government.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you. First of all, the problem in Sierra Leone is taxation. There are too much taxes. And you know what I'm telling you? When government reduce taxes, allow people to bring in goods, there are plenty of supply of commodities that they will affect the price will go down. But when you impose taxes, the businessman wants to make profit too. They're going to put it on the people of Sierra Leone, add their interest, add their profits, and it becomes expensive. You cannot think about making more money for government at the expense of people's commodities. Therefore, you must be extremely sensitive to people's needs. Food, basic food, taxation. Now they are helping people to subsidize. It's not crime. Now the problem is, most politicians don't want subsidize because of IMF and World Bank. Well, the IMF people are over there subsidizing, go and check. IMF is cut, sorry, not IMF, the first world countries. They cut taxes every day. They raise prices every day. They do everything to make sure the final consumer does not have the burden. It's on government. That's what should happen. You have to forget about your projects that will go ahead to make you a good name. The project that is important is make your people in Sierra Leone happy. That's what you do at the expense of your own government. And there are natural projects you do, it goes taxes, you're going to be happy. But these taxes, these import duties, these are going to disturb the country. Now, in 2007, when President Obama became president, the barrel was $104. But then we still subsidized to a point that nobody bought fuel more than 6,000 per liter. Today, the barrel is $60 per barrel. $60 per barrel. How much is the fuel today? 21,000 leones per liter. Because people follow, let me tell you a brutal truth. I'm not the person that work with what somebody wants me to happen in Sierra Leone. I work with what Sierra Leone wants to happen. To dictate to me how to run the country, to make sure there is a party business between you and IMF, World Bank, this, that, wait, man. No, I'm party with Sierra Leoneans. Therefore, I'm going to make sure that when it comes to economy, I deal with economists, financial accountants who are capable of applying their knowledge to Sierra Leone, commensurate to what obtains in the country, not what obtains in America or in England. This is what I've already spoken for.
You know, when you say that taxation is one of the most critical problems, every country, the government needs to mobilize resources to run the state. For a nation like Sierra Leone that does not export, where would you mobilize resources to govern if you're given a ticket and become the president of this republic? And talking about these financial institutions and their conditionalities, when you were in office, these are the very institutions you partnered with, you worked with, they helped the economy, they provided grants, loans, and all of that. So why not listening to them, especially when they have the financial expertise at the global stage and cutting off taxes and all of that? Where would you get the money to run Sierra Leone?
First of all, I didn't tell you I don't listen to them. I told you that I am not going to put the burden on the people of Sierra Leone. I'll find a way to salvage the situation. That said, why would I mobilize resources? Besides financial institutions, there are resources lying there idle by. Even your police officers, if you professionally train them, retrain them, rehabilitate them, and deploy them professionally, they are a source of income. And you want me to tell you how? They are the people that provide resources from people that are indisciplined. If you provide a system whereby if you overload your motorcar or your van or your truck, you pay a fine for that instanta. No business of going to police, talk to SI, talk to CSP, go lobby. By the end of the day, if you're supposed to pay 20,000 to government, you have spent 20,000 to police officers. And they don't realize that 20,000 you pay will come around again and make their job easy and make them productive and earn their keep. So forget about taxes. Even disciplinary measures will provide money for the country. That said, you do taxes commensurate to the capacity of the Sierra Leoneans. Okay, you cannot avoid taxes, but like I said to you, subsidize or reduce taxes, allow products to come into the country to a point that you have competition, because sometimes people don't afford because of the taxes. So only one person brings in particular product, for example, cement or rice. It's not affordable. So those that can afford it determine the price because there's no competition. They can hike the prices at their convenience. Governments have to go and beg them. You don't have to do that. Create enabling environment to compete, and you get monies. create an environment for people to be disciplined in their professions. You get money out of that. That's what I'm doing to mobilize resources. Not only about taxes.
Let's get to talk about the health care system in this country. As it is now, what more can you do?
Beautiful. You see, in making solutions, you must make permanent and sustainable solutions. That's what I will do. In the health sector, there's only one problem in Sierra Leone. What's the problem? Diagnostic features. People have to go to Ghana. Look at Ghana over here. There are times there was Ghanaians come to Sierra Leone to buy toothpaste. Now they have to go there for diagnostic features. That's the only problem. We have professional medical officers, doctors here, who are very competent, but they don't have the enabling environment and the equipment to do the work. And you know what? It's not a $1 billion cost too. Every district in Sierra Leone must have a competent, capable, infrastructurally capable diagnostic center. The problem is solved.
Where would you get resources?
Thank you. I give an example for my country, Putloko, my town, Putloko district. Let's say you have 16 districts. Putloko, you have a district council. What do? This district must have a diagnostic center unit that is only there to diagnose health issues. How do you get resources to get them? If you remember, time there was one guy called Alhaji Kemoh Sesay, was the Minister of Works, Housing and Infrastructure. To you people in the media, I was bashed at when I brought the toll gate, right? Hey, Kemoh don't bring toll gate now. They can't pay for pass. We not get by. So many things. I went to Parliament more than 4 times to convince MPs about toll gates. There it is today. Everybody's partying at toll gate. You know what I did that time? When I went to China, I negotiate. I told them, listen, I don't have money to pay you. I cannot pay you for the toll gates. But then, let's negotiate. You pay yourself by taking the toll gates for a certain period of time. This is the agreement with them. We agreed that in 25 years, they hand over the toll gate to us as it was opened, repaired, maintenance, very brand new before they leave the country. Said, okay, no problem. How do we do that? Now, you go and make a toll gate, put a price for yourself, and then collect the money until you get your money. We'll calculate. They said, okay, 15,000. Sierra Leone, just to part 15,000, not possible. We argued, we discussed with my staff. We came to a point, we agreed on 4,000 Leone per gate. And then they agreed. When we calculate the number of years, 25 years, they would have gotten their money and paid their taxes. They paid their taxes still. But guess what? After 25 years, it's ours. You know how many years left now? We have already done about 9 years now. Gone from 25 years. So let's imagine. By the time I come as a president, 10 years, it's 6 years left. By the time somebody else comes, it's finished. So it's negotiations, proper, intellectual, commonsensical discussions. Now it's almost getting to finish. It's going to be hours. Same thing. Go to China, go to Japan, go to Arab world, go to Europe. Tell you know what? You have technology here. I cannot pay you. Go and build a diagnosis center for me for 4 districts: Putloko, Bond, Moyamba, Cambia. Diagnosis centers, they have their own sophisticated, advanced technology. But guess what? This is where I get your money. How do you get your money? Affordable prices for people to pay for diagnosis. But then I give you a period of time to train people to take over when you leave, and also to make sure you recoup your own money with interest, of course, at a very minimum rate. We agree to say, you know what, 2%, no problem. They must have spent some money to build the structures, bring the equipment, train the staff per districts, and then train people to take over when they leave. So when Samuel comes and pays 10,000 only to diagnose for any disease, anybody can afford it. But then you'll have plenty of 10,000s for day. Plenty of 10,000 for days. The machines are good. Fibia will come, same thing. Kemoh will come, same thing. And then they'll get their money faster than even expected, because now it's affordable. Any deal can pay 10,000 Leones to go diagnose him for a disease. Proper one. So they get their monies and leave their equipment with us, just like toll gates, as they brought them in, brand new. And then our technicians now have been trained, comes in.
Out of curiosity, you were in office for 10 years as a government minister. So where have these plans been? We did not have all of these implemented under the APC.
Beautiful. I was specific. I was the Minister of Transport. That is why today I have the Civil Aviation Authority in Sierra Leone. I brought it in here when I was Transport Minister. That is why today you have these traffic wardens. I brought them in this country. That's why today you have these new plates you have. I brought them in here. I trained staff here. If you hear about traffic warden, it's Kemoh Sesay. If you hear about Civil Aviation Authority today, it's Kemoh Sesay. The time there was, they didn't even consider us. I lobbied with the ICAO, International Civil Aviation Authority. Before I left, I was 9 months in transport. Don't forget. Only 9 months. I was able to convince them to citizen to come to Sierra Leone, and then we adopted the Civil Aviation Authority. Now we have it as a unit here, which is uniform universally. So that was then. When I went to Ministry of Works, I told you about the toll gate now. Okay? So it's about, I cannot do work for other ministers. That's their own job. That's why if I was Minister of Rail, which I wanted earlier on, so you would have gotten diagnostic centers.
You sat in cabinets?
Yes, I do.
With other ministers, where plans are discussed, policies are made.
Correct. You discuss plans and policies they bring to cabinet by the cabinet minister. You can't bring a cabinet for when you're Minister of Works.
So if you have the country at heart, and you being a good person, as you started off by saying, what would have been wrong for you to bring those up, especially when, if those would have come up, it would have been a plus for your government then that you served?
Fabian, you know what? Don't forget the fact that you're a human being. You have your own interests, you have your own principles, you have your own position. That's your right. That's your human right. Likewise me. I cannot impose...
So you're a good person when it favors you?
No. I am saying I cannot impose upon you your priorities. You should decide for yourself. I cannot judge you and impose on you. So, as a minister of government, I will say that in cabinet, where it's up to the minister specific to come with it as a cabinet paper. Otherwise, we'll discuss it.
Let's talk about Parliament. You served in Parliament as well. With the current happenings in Parliament, what's your assessment of the caliber of MPs we have and their work they've been doing?
I must say, and I think God just told me that, the members of Parliament today are different from our own times. In our own times, give it to him, he's dead today, Pakaba. Believe you me, you can be a parliamentarian. You can be a parliamentarian. You can debate even against him. Let me tell you something today. The best friend of Pakaba in Parliament time was Kemoh Sesay. You know, I used to go to his home, at the lodge, discuss with him cabinet papers. I did that. I'm the first person, may he so rest in peace, in physical time, Pakaba gave me physical cash in dollars. I'm picking his words. I like you. He's not afraid, he talk through. When people thought that he was going to jail me, I was the person that was arrested to be jailed. Pakaba said, they are not just picking at it. What you do? Because you do your business. Not because. Pakaba did that to me. Why? Because one person that believes in justice and is Islamic. He believes in God. He called me, say, Kemoh, no cost me again. That's why we talk to Kulunku. No do again. You know, but I say, pa, but not to me. Na Brahma, Mustafa, then tell me, say, plus you married. We'll get other girlfriend, na Kulunku. He said, well, go. You see what happened? If it was somebody else, I would have been in jail. I didn't even know what was Kulunku that time. You hear me? But then, that parliament is different from this one today. So
are you blaming it on the presidency?
Well, yes. The buck stops at his desk. You know what? When you're a president, you are the Supreme Executive Authority. Supreme Executive Authority. Fountain of honor. Fountain of justice. That's on you. You have an obligation to make sure there is justice, there is honor, there is human rights. So if you're a president, don't say, hey, I'm not Speaker of the House. No. You have to intervene. Because you are the Supreme Executive Authority.
But would the intervention as well not also come back to impede the independence of Parliament?
No. This intervention, Fabian. In Parliament, parliamentarians can fight amongst themselves. They can curse at themselves. It's okay. It's parliamentary practice. It was, I remember when I was in Parliament, Dr. Kafasma told me, get out of the Parliament. Look how dressed you are. Jeans in Parliament, ragamuffin, get out. I said, Skarifa, sit down, warm a bench. There was no problem with that. Usman Kamara pointed fingers at Dr. Raymond Kamara. No problem. But when the police officers come into the well of Parliament, that's a disgrace. It shouldn't happen like that. That's a well of Parliament.
But things have escalated during your time in Parliament. We've not heard reports on history of how people were throwing furniture at each other.
Yes!
But now it's escalated.
No, we know why it's escalating. Because police officers...
And what's police there for? To protect lives?
No. Fabian, the whole world, parliamentarians can fight in their broke chairs there. Nobody can be arrested. When you are in that parliament, you cannot be charged. Nobody can charge you for anything. Even when you are going to parliament, you cannot be arrested or anything to you. Let's alone when you are in parliament.
But that encourages hooliganism.
If you let me finish, please, madam. The law says that when you are moving from the house to parliament, Nobody can charge you for. Even if you stuff lie, you accidentally kill somebody, you have to go to Parliament first before they talk to you about that. Nobody can judge you. Let alone when you're in the well of Parliament. You can do anything to yourself amongst yourself. Nobody should interfere.
No. But we had that conversation here as well. And what the Constitution protects for parliamentarians is what they say.
What did they say?
Not what they do. Not what they say in the well of Parliament, not what they do.
Okay. Let me tell you about parliamentary practice. Words go along with Igbo shots. Igbos understand that in Parliament. You are trying to carry a point, to score a point. It goes to it's natural. So if naturally I curse at you in the well of Parliament, it's normal. If naturally I throw at you a book, it's okay. They only take benches and chairs because police came in the place. They have to defend themselves. I'm talking for both sides, so not only for APC party. Because both of them did the same thing, not for APC party. SAP did the same thing. It's okay for them to do it. It's their own home, it's their domain, it's their authority, it's their privacy, it's their public place, it's their everything. Don't interfere with them.
Are you, in other words, saying we should continue to encourage the physical fights in the well of Parliament?
Nobody encourages physical fights. It's involuntary.
But then how can it be dealt with?
Thank you. If they were not interfered with, if nobody comes in there to say, arrest them, go and hold them, it will die down. I've seen that happen. They will never hurt themselves. They can provoke themselves, intimidate themselves. They will not hurt themselves. They only started hurting themselves when the security officers were in there. Go and look at the clips. They only begin to hurt themselves when there was interference. Fabian.
Just lastly from my part, the usual is that MPs would come and debate the issues tabled there. And where it comes to a conclusion now, to vote. But we also see that in other countries, you know, MPs, whether it's even from the executive arm, whether the president wants something done, there's that form of lobbying. But it's not done now in the Parliament. Voting is not even a thing. It's just more fighting, and then the opposition, your party, works out of Parliament. And that could be considered as laziness on the part of the MPs and inefficiency in doing their work.
Well, first of all, it's an unfair statement to say my MPs are lazy and efficient. It's unfair. You know, you cannot tell us inefficient in Parliament. You don't have the domain to tell us about that. I can tell you because I'm a member of Parliament. I was one. They are not inefficient. I can tell you something. You are there to lobby. It's not my practice. Lobby professionally in the interest of the country. If you lobby by twisting arms to say it has to be this, it's not lobbying. It's okay to lobby professionally as a parliamentarian. Now, in Parliament today, they don't lobby. They tell you, we are going to pass this. It's going to pass. Did they pass to? That's not lobbying. Go to the common room, to the committee room, and talk to your colleague MPs. Because of A, B, C, D, let's pass this through. It's our interest. That's what they call lobby. But they say, we will not agree to pass them. They should be recalcitrant. Believe me, time there was when I was in Parliament, we walked out. We forced the speaker to get out of Parliament. He got out. People say, hey, Kemoh, get out. We'll protect you here. That's what they call Parliament. But to say it must be this way, it's not lobbying, no. And guess what? If you lobby in the of the country, it takes an idiotic member of Parliament not to agree. So what you are saying here is unfair to the members of Parliament of the APC party. I'll not bring for them. They know me. We're always at crossroads. But it's not fair to them to say they are incompetent. They are very, very competent, I can tell you now.
But then why not stay also as opposition, lobby other members to vote in the area you want them to vote,
well put,
instead of just walking out of Parliament,
well put,
which at the end of the day, working out means it's an easy way for things to get done.
Okay, listen. Out of experience, they've learned that they will walk out, they will lobby, they will not accept. They will do what? But you know the government, don't talk like you're a stranger in Sierra Leone. The mother-builded government will do things ab initio up till now illegally. You know that. Throwing parliamentarians out of Parliament, jailing people unnecessarily. They don't care about the law. But we're going to teach them a lesson. We're going to show them the correct thing to do. When we come to power, we'll respect the law, make sure they live in this country comfortably, see us do better jobs. See us not work parliamentarians out of Parliament, not jail anybody for anything, but democratically we can argue, disagree to agree.
When you blame what is happening in Parliament on the presidency, and you look at the concept of separation of powers, and Parliament being an independent arm, of the three arms of government. How is that the fault of the presidency?
I don't know what you don't understand by supreme executive authority, fountain of honor and justice. I don't know what you don't understand from that. As president, you can intervene in the will of parliament. Yeah, I member of parliament too. Don't you know that? He's a member of parliament too.
Ceremonially.
Well, not ceremonial. He's a member of parliament. It's in the books. What do you mean by ceremonial? So wear a cap? No. He's a member of parliament. He can put a position there as a president. Listen, I was in parliament. There was a motion. Sorry, I was a minister. There was a motion in parliament to extend an Escroma's term of office. Listen carefully. I'm talking about facts here. I was the one that worked with other people to make the extend the time for an Escroma. You know what he did? Go and ask him. Leave me alone. Go and look at the answer of parliament. The motion was on the floor. It was moved by members of the SNP party because there is also their interest. Parliaments have a common interest too. If they are extended the time, the life of the presidency, their time in the office, parliamentarians will be extended. You know what President Kemoh did? He picked the phone. You Kemoh, you Cherikoko, una cross that bill there, I don't want them. Una stop them. I swear to Almighty Allah, he said so to me. I was in the office. He called me. I said, hey, Mr. President, I'm not a member of parliament. I'm in my office working as a minister. No. Yeah, Cherikoko. I'm quoting him. Call Cherikoko now. Stop that bill there. I don't say now. He saw it on TV. So I called Cherikoko, say, the parliament don't call me, don't blast me. Before I stop, I say, the parliament was stood down. They went out. The motion was crushed. He was the one that crushed the motion.
Which was the direct interference into the proceedings of parliament.
It's the supreme executive authority of the country, fountain of honor and justice. That's what displayed. He realized that time that if they had done that, it would have caused chaos. So he didn't want chaos. He said, don't do that. He's a member of parliament. Don't forget. You see, don't brief for anybody here.
I'm just asking the question. So are you saying
that as is today, has the authority to stop bad things? Now, why didn't he sign the one bill that was not good? He didn't sign it. The retired brigadier just sign it.
But he didn't stop parliament from passing the bill either.
Well, he didn't sign. That's your job too.
Yeah.
If they pass it beyond your control, don't sign it and eat at once. I praise you for that. Let me tell you something today. I have one thing I respect him of. That is true. There's one truth he said to me. That's the only thing I have respect for him. He said, I don't find pleasure working with somebody I don't know. It's correct. It's correct. It might be difficult to understand, but it's correct. But then, the second thing was that people lobbied for some bill. I can't remember exactly the bill. And it came to him. When he saw that it was not correct, he did not sign it. Two things for him. The rest is bad. Therefore, he has the power, the authority, legal right to stop bad things in parliament.
If you become the president, what would be your approach to addressing parliament, the issues in parliament?
First of all, I'm a parliamentarian for 27 years, right? I told you. With that experience, I know what to do as a former member of parliament. It's not by force. Call both seats out of the seats. Let them come to you in the state house. It's their house. Let them come to state house. Tell the president to do that. Call all of them. Let them have a discussion. Let them talk frankly. Fast. Say, look, why do you want this? Convince us. Let's talk here. We're all persons. We're all people. We're all the same country. Let him talk to them. Don't isolate them from the people. They represent the people of Sierra Leone. When you talk to the people. Problem comes with their own problem. But if you sit back there and wait for the people to come and report to you, even your son can mislead you. Anybody, I trust nobody but Allah.
So why would you want the president to engage members of parliament when evidently his interest is politics?
No. Well, that's politics too. For good things. Talk to them for the betterment of the country. Interfere positively. Don't say, oh, powers. That's what happened in judiciary today. Involve positively. Let people know that there is no power from the above. I was shocked one day. Let me tell you this. When I was locked up at the CID and Padeba Road for a statement in Putloko, somebody came and told me, you know, say, retired brigadier just mad, I don't know. I say, what? He said, no. Let me go tell him. Let me make them tell him. I say, what? So guess what? You know what's happening here? Because they believe you in this direction, people act on belonging to you. It happens. That's why you must be involved. In anything, you must be involved.
So finally, where do you draw your inspiration for the flag bearer race in the APC?
Like I told you in the beginning, I investigated myself. I looked into my heart, my values, what I've done before, how I feel about people. It's not about just playing my master's degree. No. How I feel about somebody, how I feel about you. When I came here, you know. When I came here, why I greeted you, I know I deserve the same thing I deserve, same thing to Fabian. You know I related to you because we're all human beings. And I realized that over the years, people don't treat people as human beings. They treat them as subordinates. They feel like they are born better than them. It's wrong. It's wrong to Allah. It's wrong to mankind. That's why for me, that's my principal weapon, to make sure that everybody believes that me and him or her are the same. It's just that Allah says today, Kemoh, you are president. Therefore, I must serve them to get a reward from Almighty Allah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Alhaji Ibrahim Kemoh Sesay.